last week on Brago 24/7?
It really has to do with me.
Yeah.
And that's me being always hopeful to not think the worst of others.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I've gotten hurt so much, is because I'm always thinking the best. But, thinking the best, continue to think that, because I don't think that people have this like malicious intent all the time to like go out and hurt me or
some
leave me
people
out.
do, Shiney. There you go, thinking the best of people. I'm like, some people want you to go down.
You're right.
There are some evil intentioned, is that a word? Intentioned people? Evil intentioned people. I don't know.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think that I have met a fair share of some haters.
Yeah.
For me, I have.
Hi, I am your host, Lyanette Talley, and you are listening to Brago 24/7. Brago is Latin for female warrior, and 24/7 is for all day, every day. Brago 24/7 is a weekly podcast that brings diverse women together to talk about life and our experiences in this world. We share our views on self-love, mental health, marriage, children, friendships, and really anything that needs to be talked about. Here, you will find everyday growth, everyday healing with everyday warriors. Just give me my space to move. 'Cause it's my thoughts, what I want, and I want what I want. I want to say this with love. When I first met you, you were a pushover. And I've told you, I'm like, you just let people run all over you. I'm like, why are you allowing this? Yeah. And I love your heart. And also, I saw that you would play the victim a lot too. Like, why is this happening? And woe is me. And it's like, no, you're allowing it. And I see such a growth in you where you're setting up boundaries. You're still loving and kind. And that hasn't been like extinguished, but you see, like, you're seeing people for who they are. You're giving still that chance. Like, you're still including everyone into your world and your life. But then when you see that they aren't the right person for you, or they're haters, like you just said, like, I don't know if you're at that point yet to let them go, but you're getting there, and I see such a difference.
I actually know I'm there because I feel like right now, currently in my life, I feel like maybe there's one that can go. Yeah. I really feel like I've
and you're at peace with it.
And I'm okay. Yeah. And you're right. I think my first instinct is, woe is me. I would throw myself a monthly pity party. People can come anytime. People are welcome.
What is this party about? Do we have beverages and snacks?
I used to be like, hey, I'm having a pity party. And
party of one.
Party of one. So yes, for sure.
Every now and then it's okay to throw a little pity party of one. I'm all for it.
So I recognize that because I feel like I have had a lot of hurt in my life, and I just kept thinking, why me? But I realized in every aspect, every relationship, in my marriage, which was a really hard pill to swallow, is that the things that were wrong and that weren't going the way I wanted it to go, that I also contributed to it. I allowed it. I think I allow it with lots of relationships is what you said, like the push over me, the walk all over me. And that comes from a really deep seated place of like not feeling like, you know what, I'm nothing. So just walk all over me, do whatever you want. Just, and I'll be your bitch.
Yeah.
And that has been like a story that I was telling myself for such a long time. But the truth is, we can change our story. I don't have to be this victim that all these bad things happen to forever. Yes, bad things happened, but you know what? I believe that in order to see the light, it's because you've been in the dark.
Yeah.
And I do think that I was dimming my own light also. So I'm no longer going to do that. Things happen. And you know what? What's happened in my home life, growing up, I'm sure happened to somebody else's. Someone's had it worse. Someone's had it better. But you know what? I learned so much from it. I give actually grace and forgiveness to those who have hurt me. because I've learned also, because I was very angry too, to a lot of people who have hurt me. But I realized also some of the people in my life that have hurt me, they know no better. They did not know any better of how to treat someone, how to be. And you know what? That's their journey. Mm-hmm. And me letting that go is better for me. Mm-hmm. And because I can only control myself.
Yeah.
So I've learned that, in order for not making everybody the bad guy anymore.
Yeah.
So
that's so powerful, because I used to be the same way. I played the victim for a lot of years and just angry. Like it should have been like this, or it could. But when you realize like we're all human and we all are just doing things from the place that we know, whether it's good or bad, and giving that person grace, it makes you feel powerful.
Yes. I would actually
like I own my life. Yeah, I own my life. Things don't just happen to me. I own it, and I don't have to stay there. It's a beautiful feeling. And I haven't done therapy, but being around people like you, Shiney, who has done therapy,
tons of therapy,
and other people, I'm like, that's how I've learned in the past few years. That's how I've learned having these conversations. Is like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Let me apply it to my life.
But I think that's
so thank
beautiful.
you for paying for my therapy indirectly. Because you're one of those people. Like, I'm like, okay, I can take that and learn. Yes, not all these. Yes, shitty things happened. I wish they could have been differently. They're not. There's nothing we can do to go back in time and change it. However, yes, like, I'm not the victim anymore. Let's stop wallowing.
Yes.
And
in that drama triangle or circle, that we go round and round. I was everything. I was a rescuer. Like I have to fix everything.
Yes.
I had to fix everything anyone's friend. So I would say that I'm no longer any of those positions anymore, because some of those like job positions I was having in life was also put on me. Like I remember how many times my mom would say, if there was conflict between my siblings, she would put on me that I'm the oldest.
Yes.
It is my job to fix it. Yes. It is my job, and same thing.
Yes, that is the truth. Or, oh, you need to call more because you're the oldest, and I'm like, I am not that much older than these people, so calm down. Like, yes, it's putting the oldest on a pedestal. And not just a pedestal, because I wasn't always put on a pedestal, but just having high expectations and goals. And then you feel like a failure because a lot of the times you can't meet that. And how about the younger siblings? How come they don't have those same expectations? That I've had to let go of that, because that would make me angry too.
But you said the word expectations. We were just saying expectations we have on people, mm-hmm. that expectations we have on ourselves, expectations that are put on us.
Yeah. Yes.
That's just resentment city.
Putting it on us, that's been hard to let go of that, because then you feel guilty, because it's like you've been that's been put on you and you can't really fulfill it. So I'm a failure for not fulfilling these expectations that were put on me.
Yes. And I think that has been a huge lesson of life, because I think at an early age, because like you said, I'm Indian. So, Asian families typically the parents put a lot of expectations in their child, because they're immigrants. They've had to work really hard, and they aspire and put all these aspirations and dreams into their children. Mm-hmm. And they want their children to execute it very well.
Yeah, it's like, I couldn't do it, but my child will. Right. They're going to live up to what I wish I could have done.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I grew up with that. I grew up with the narrative that these are the expectations that are put on me, and I must fulfill them. And if I don't, I'm a failure. So that has carried me for years. And I will say, I have only just now in the last few years realized that that it's okay. Yeah. That it's okay that I didn't meet their expectations. And honestly, those expectations that they had on me, it's about them. And I think that's been another thing that I've always told myself. Anytime that I'm feeling low or not good enough or not loved or not worthy, or that I'm not handling this right, I have to think like, this is really not about me. That it's someone else's, whatever they're dealing with. It's really, it's about them. So now when I speak, and because I can't change anyone. So when I hear someone else's expectations or someone else's wants and I'm listening to it, sometimes I either listen or I exit the conversation, or I even say, or I try to stand up for myself. So I feel like that's been a newer thing for me is my voice. I learned this also in therapy with the life I've had. You tend to become really small because you're trying to make everyone else happy. Like, I would say I'm a recovering people pleaser.
Hello, I'm Shiney. And I'm a recovering people pleaser. Yes.
But that started by being a parent pleaser, right? Because I grew up like I always thought that if I don't do what my parents want, then they won't be happy and they won't love me as much. So I've done that for a long time. But now I'm realizing now that ultimately I need to be happy too. And what makes me happy. And I've realized that in my family unit, I've noticed that like, when I go to yoga or I do something that I want to do, not anyone else has put it on me, it's my idea completely, and I come back, I am so happy. And that honestly domino effects on everybody. Like every person I surround myself with, like everywhere, I feel like the smile and the joy I feel comes from within, and it radiates, and I feel
and then
good.
You're ready to pour back into your family.
Yes.
Like when I take care of myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it, all of the things. And I'm very intentional about it in the recent years. I'm like, I just feel like, okay, like, even if it's like, when I meditate, it's like 10 minutes. I do my little devotionals. So it's probably less than an hour out of my day that I get to be but it centers you. And then I can really conquer, well, for the most part, sometimes. And sometimes people frazzle me and then I have to, regroup.
Well, and that's okay. And you know what? I'm glad.
But for the most part, it does. It does.
So I've now also, I've told this, not really to many people, but people, get their hair done, they get their face done, they get their nails done.
Stop talking about me, Shiny.
Get all stuffed up.
Stop talking about me, because I do all those things.
No, and I think there's nothing wrong.
I love all of those things.
Yes. No problem. I think you should do whatever makes you happy.
I just got my face done yesterday. I'm getting micro needling done.
Oh,
girl.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, and they just pretty much put like
needles.
Yes, all in your face.
And what is the end goal?
It's supposed to help with collagen, producing collagen so that I look young and vibrant.
Okay.
I'm trying all the things.
I'm trying
all
great.
the things. Anyways, go on. Talk about me some more.
What I was saying is people, people will say like, oh, I just went and got microneedling. I'm doing self-care. And I guess what I'm saying is I think you should do whatever you want physically for your outside. But what I really want is, to me, true self-care is also work on your within.
Yes.
Like, do your reading, do your meditating, do your walks, go to therapy, exercise, whatever it is that also is going to self-care within.
Yes.
And that's
very important. No, that's very important, because some people only focus on all of that.
Right. Because they'll say, I do self-care. I get my nails done.
Yeah, that's not it.
And I guess I just want to say that, like, that is great. And I think
but that can't be
whatever you need
thing.
to do. But please do other stuff too inside, even journaling, listening to a great song and taking yourself back to it. To a good moment. Whatever it is you need to reel yourself back in, and do something for, and because you want to be the best you can be. You don't want to be somebody else. You don't, this is not like, I know we all get like, oh, I'd love to look like a model or be, or have the mindset of Deepak Chopra or something, but just try to be just us wanting to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah. Working on the inside has been such an amazing journey.
But
and I
recommend self-awareness.
That's yes. Oh my gosh.
Because we all know some we all know people that have no idea.
Girl, yes. The self-awareness, man. There's a lot of people that really lack that.
Oh, I know.
And it's very frustrating to see.
It's very frustrating. And that's what I've also said when I say like-minded, those that recognize it. Because yesterday when I was saying, like, to be have humility and vulnerability, I was saying yesterday to my kids, like, oh, I miss my sister. We got mad at each other and I miss her. And I recognize that is not something that I would want for my kids. Because I was telling them that, I was trying to say to them to my boys, that they always have each other. Like, the great thing about a sibling is that you have a best friend for life. And I was trying to promote that, and it's not coming from a place that I have it. Mm-hmm. It's more coming from a place that I don't, with my sister. My brother and I are close, but, with my sister. So that I love her and I miss her. And that's something that I really, really want.
Well, and it's okay sometimes for us not to have perfected what we're preaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, this is what I want for you because you can do better than what I did, or learn from my mistakes. And
I think that's something that goes back to what our parents are trying to do for us too. Like, the reason that they have these dreams and aspirations for us is they weren't able to do it. Mm-hmm. So I guess I get why I was pushed so hard. Yeah. Did I like it? No, but I get it now, and that's why I don't hate on it anymore. Yeah. Like, I don't have that. I understand them. They wanted the best for me. It came from a good place. And they really just want me to be happy ultimately. Yeah.
No, it's true. But I also think it's important as parents to find our thing so that we don't focus so much on the kids, because there's a lot of people that is their world. That's their life. So that's all they know is like, let me just pour into my kids because I feel like through osmosis, I become amazing. I don't know. But like, you have to find your own thing.
Thank you for saying that. I heard this young person who's, she's, I think she's 30s, but she was actually just talking about moms who are like that. And immediately I thought, me. Mm-hmm. I think if anyone knows me, that how much I pour into my kids. Yes. As this process of me, like, becoming aware, because what we were saying about awareness is, so being aware is what makes me want to change. Yeah. So I think.
So you were aware that your life revolved around your kids.
Yes, I am aware. I mean, I'm very aware. I didn't need anyone to tell me a wake up call. I know how I feel, because I feel like I've talked to so many mom friends and, needing breaks or, can't wait for their kids to go back to school. Like, I've heard so many things, which is very valid and very normal. Mm-hmm. And I know that that's one thing. Like, I know that I don't know. I think I don't know if it's because I'm more patient or tolerant or just our family dynamic. I really enjoy being around my kids so much, but I've realized, just like you said, that our kids come through us. Mm-hmm. And this is, Eckhart Tolle writes about this, like, they come through us. So really, we're their guardians, that they're going to leave and have their own lives and dreams. And that is what I want for them. I am not trying to keep them home for the rest of their lives, because I know a lot of people have given me a hard time or given me some judgment about the choices I made to homeschool my boys. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, no one has to worry about that.
Exactly.
I know what I'm doing.
You didn't ask them to come over and homeschool on your behalf, so tell them to sit down.
Yeah, I think everyone's choice for what they want to do with their kids is completely their choice.
I do believe in that.
And I think that I do know what I'm doing 100%. And honestly, I know I'm going to be fine because my kid already travels internationally without us. And I'm totally fine with my youngest also doing the same. But what I did learn I needed to do for myself more is to do because like I said, I was going back to, me getting a haircut or doing something. I was seeing that as the only things I was doing for myself. And I realized that's a short-lived happiness for that moment. And it does make me feel good when I have my eyebrows threaded or when I get something done. That's great. But what I really realized what I needed besides doing therapy for myself was to have some activities and hobbies that were just my own. So, because cooking, I feel, is shared. I enjoy that hobby so much, but I'm doing it for everyone also. Like, that is the joy. So, so this year I have put an intention to execute things that I actually want to do for myself. So, I'm doing several different things and I've joined several things that are just my own. And I think that now, if anything, they're getting a even healthier version of their mom, because I think it's really important as women to have a life.
Yes.
Outside our spouse or partner or boyfriend or girlfriend, outside our kids, that is just ours. And I wasn't doing that. I mean, I know that you've noticed my change, but truthfully, the changes that I've been making over 10 years. I remember 10 years ago, I had never even had a babysitter for my kids when they were small. Like, that was not something that I had ever done. I never got a babysitter to go on a date. I never did things like that. So, this journey, over over 10 years, it's been slow and steady, but I'm really glad that I'm doing it. And it really did start with awareness. I think I became aware that, that is something that people do. People get sitters because they want to go out and have a night out. And I had been in my marriage only 5 years, and I had never, for 5 years, I never got a babysitter.
Wow. Well, I think with us, our saving grace is that since I've been in Georgia for so long, and, I know people for many years that I trust. There's one friend who actually, I knew her way before we lived in Georgia. We've just known each other since we were little. Dads were in the army, stationed in Germany and stuff. But she was the one that would watch my kids because I trust her. So without her, and because we didn't have family here, I don't know if I would have just hired some random schmojo to come watch the kids. So maybe I would have been in that same. And I'm different than you. I adore my kids, but I need time away. And I think I've kind of grown into that because when they were younger, I needed time away for my sanity, but it wasn't like how I am now where I make it a point to do things for myself. I wasn't really doing that as much when they were younger, but I don't know if I would have trusted them with just anybody.
I think that,
I think that's the only reason why we were able to go out on dates is because I had a trusting, she's like a little sister to me, like a trustworthy person. I mean, Kaylin's going to be 22 on Saturday, and this girl, Nikki, shout out to my little sister, Nikki. She even when Kaylin was 5 months old, I needed a break because I'm young. I'm I want to go out and party. She would have her stay the night. And so she's been with my kids that long. But it is important to do the date night and to go out and be an adult.
I think that the reason I didn't do it, number one, it wasn't even on my radar. That's what I said. I wasn't aware that I should be doing that for myself.
Is it a cultural thing, you think? Is that something that...
it could be, it could 100% be cultural because, we're very close knit. I also didn't have anyone either. I think trust was a big thing for me too, because I get judgment also about being a stay-at-home mom.
Where are these judgments coming from, Shai? Who's judging you for these things? That's crazy.
I think that, why I hear more things generally about, I think that
about what you're doing,
about what I'm doing is I feel I must give off. See, that's just all these vibes that I give off.
People feel like they can give their opinions.
Yes,
unnecessary.
They feel like they can tell me all these things, and we talked about this off record, but usually people who can dish it can't take it. So I have learned that too. So I feel like I'm the type of person that someone feels like Shiney's not going to run away and she's not going to get mad at me. And she'll
accept my opinion about her and her parenting.
Her and her, how to be, you name it, I have heard it.
Really?
but I have, I would say that with a grain of salt, I have taken some of the advice that was given, because I remember even the dating thing, that I hadn't gone on a date and I hadn't gone a sitter. I remember that was hard for me at first because I didn't understand it. And it's a trust thing too. Like, I didn't have anyone, I didn't have any close family to help me. Mm-hmm. And I remember a mom in my mom's group saying, how did you decide to become an attachment parent? And I was like, attachment parent?
You're like, what the hell is that?
I had no answer for her. And of course I went home and I Googled it. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm an attachment parent.
I didn't realize I was.
I didn't know. Yeah.
So you didn't respond to her when she asked you because you had no clue.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
She made it sound, she sound like as if it was some philosophy that I had decided to take up.
Okay.
And so I think that I do obviously give off the vibe that I'm an attached type of parent. Mm-hmm. I know myself that I have learned that, yes, these kids there is a reason why I was so attached to them. There are a lot of personal reasons that I was the way that I was, but I do still want the best for them. And the best for them is not to be attached like where I can't cut the cord when they need to go somewhere or they need to do something for their life. Like, it's not like that. I want the best for them.
Yeah. We were having this conversation because, Kaylin, this is her last year of college, and she was telling, I guess, Corinne, because Corinne wants to pretty much take over her room, Kaylin's room, like take her TV, like just take some things. I'm like, well, wait a minute. She's like, oh no, she already said she's going to move out after college. Like, she's not going to come back home. I'm like, okay, yeah, she has said that to me too, but you just never know. Like, she's going to graduate at the end of this year. So I'm like, there's still time, but it's okay. Like, this is why I'm trying to raise independent kids so that they're not afraid to go. Most parents will be like, oh, you want to leave me? And a little part of me, I'm not going to lie, is like, oh, like, this is the end of an era, like an end of but it's great that you're not afraid to like want to be independent and go live on your own. And then Khalil, Mr. Guy, 15 years old, he's like, well, when I turn 18 and I go to college, I ain't never coming back. And I'm like, well, what does that say about me? Or is it good that they feel confident? I'm like, so that means you're never gonna, what about like summers when you can't be at school anymore? He's like, I'll just find a place to live on my own. And he's like really good with like saving his money. So I believe that he would find a way to like pay his own way. And then Corinne, my little sweetheart, she's like, well, I'm going to live with you until I'm 29, until I have enough money to get my farm and my chickens and I don't know, she wants animals. She wants a farm. So it's so interesting how each child is different. So I'm like, try not to take it personal, because it's like, well, this child is this way. And this one, Kaylin has come back. Khalil never wants to come back. And then Corinne wants to stay here forever. So it's learning to take the ego out of it and not taking it personal, and also to be happy that this is what I wanted. This is, for me personally, my philosophy has always been, I want to raise independent kids. So you're going to know how to do your laundry. You're going to know how to do basic things around the house, so that you're not like, how do you use the washer? I don't want any of that crap. I don't want those kind of phone calls. I want, like, Kaylin, I got in an accident. What do I do? That stuff, not how to wash dishes or anything like that. But there's a show, and I'm so glad we're talking about parenting, because there's a show, and I don't know if you heard it. It's called The Parent Test.
Yes, I watched it.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Yes.
Don't give it away.
I won't.
Because Corinne, so I had two friends tell me about it, and I'm like, damn, I have to watch this show. And because they've said it like recently, and I'm like, okay, let's watch a show. So we're watching it on Hulu. Mm-hmm. So Corinne's like, I want to watch it. So her and I think we're only on episode like 8. So we're in the semifinals. So tell me what your perspective is on that, because watching it, there's 12 sets of parents, mm-hmm. or there's 2 that are single parents, but it's 12 parenting styles, and they're very different. But what I see from watching this, there's some that I'm like, I have my opinions, but what I see is that they all want the best for their kids.
Yes.
They're going about it in different ways.
Yes.
but every single one of them truly want the best for their kids. Now, some of them I'm like, ew, I cringe. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that parenting style at all. And Corinne's like, well, what do you think you are? And I'm like, no, you tell me what you think I am. She's like, I think you're the disciplined one. And I'm like, you know what? I take that, because that's the one I was going to choose, is that I'm the disciplined one, where I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't tolerate certain things. However, I want the best for you, and I'm fair in other situations. But oh my gosh, this show has been so fun to watch with my child, because she's seen, because they put kids in different scenarios, and depending on the parenting style, you'll see like how the kids react, and it's fascinating.
I agree.
It's fascinating, and I've been like obsessed with it.
I agree. I think the show was incredible, and the unanimous feeling around everyone was that they all really cared about their kids.
Yes.
So I loved that. And you know what? I feel like that's what people need to realize. Like, before they're quick to give unsolicited advice, unless you're asking a friend for advice, I think to each his own. Yeah. You know, people are going to parent their kids however they want to, but giving them the trust and, like, you know, respect. Yeah. That it's okay. I mean, ultimately, they all want the best.
They do. And I love, because, so basically they're voting off. They show different scenarios, and then they are taking notes, because you have like 4 of the couples on the hot seat. And so you have the other people, quote unquote, judging. So they're taking notes and they're giving their feedback. Some of it good, some of it not good. But the people have their reasons why they did it that way. Or then they realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or, you know, kind of rethinking why they do that. Maybe they shouldn't. And they're having a conversation. Some of it gets, you know, somewhat like a little heated, but they're listening to each other as parents and like showing each other grace. I just love, I love that. They don't agree on everything. And sometimes, like, I'm picking and choosing from each style, because I'm like, okay, he's too strict. However, I appreciate this and why he's pushing his child to do all the things and speak all the languages. It's so, and then watching it with Corinne is so cool, because when she's watching the kids and like there's different scenarios, we'll pause and it's like, well, how would you have reacted in that situation? Especially with like a lot of the stranger danger type scenarios. And because I'm like, I've reiterated certain things. Has it stuck? Because some of the parents think, oh, I said it once or twice, they should know better. No, they open that door, they let that person come in. Like, it's like, oh shit, like, have I instilled that in my kids so that they know? But I'm like, I know, because we've had scenarios in our house where they've opened doors and we were like, never again. I will cut your hands off. Like, I mean it. Don't ever do that. And so they've learned, don't answer those, you know, the door to strangers. But it's been so cool to kind of see different aspects of each style and appreciating it. And I'm hoping my parenting style wins. Don't tell me, because we're not there yet. I'm like,
I was going to say, I agree. And I like that you're watching a Corinne, because so we watched it also as a family. Okay. Because there's a lot of good discussions. And I even joke like, oh, maybe we'll do all the tests when we have a minute. Like, we'll go
every single one.
Do all the tests and all. We won't know when it's coming. Yeah. So they were like, oh, okay. You know, and I really liked it too. I think this is a great recommendation for families to watch together. Yes. Because the one thing that, you know, not only did they have in common that they all cared so much about their kids, they were all aware of, like, when they found a mistake that they were like, oh, okay, or I could have done this differently. And then when they were like talking to each other, yes, I did hear some defensiveness or some you know, hurt feelings here and there, but I could also tell that they were all wanting to learn. And I think that we can always learn from each other.
Exactly. And I think we're in a point in this society, and I don't know, whatever era we're in our lives, where we're just so freaking judgmental of everybody's parenting style, or everybody, like, over everything. It's like, we can learn from each other. Like, I may not want to do everything you do, Shiney, and you may not do everything that I do, but we can learn from each other. Or if we don't, we just accept that works for their family and this works for ours.
100%. I feel when I said that, yes, certain people were judging me, because I feel I can feel it. I feel judged, like the choice that I made to be at home, the choice that and not work, the choices I make, all kinds of choices. I feel like there's definitely judgment within other, that people have for me. But I realize, you know what? That's on them.
Yeah.
It really is. Because I completely respect you. And I know that you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for me to think about anything else. Mm-hmm. How you parent, how you do your marriage, how you cook. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be. I feel like I follow some, people on Instagram, and one of them is his family. And when I read the comments, like everyone's like, oh, he shouldn't have held the baby that way, or you shouldn't have had the dog lick the baby, or you should, like, there's always like someone saying something to say. And I realized, like, this person is just posting it for that moment that brought them joy, and they wanted to share it, and that's it. Yes. End of story.
I don't need your input.
Right.
But people love. So I don't really comment on stuff, especially people that I don't even know. But I do love to go into the comments to see, okay, what are people saying? I'm like, are you, like, you took the time to like comment in a negative way when this has nothing to do with you? Like, they're not hurting anybody. Yes, you probably wouldn't have let the dog lick the baby, but who cares? Did the dog eat the baby? Like, that would be a serious thing. But, it's just, people are just so freaking judgmental. And listen, I'm one of those who is very aware of others, and I may be perceived as being judgmental or cautious, whatever words, but these people are like, for me, judgment is like when you're really getting into someone's character and being of everything they do, and you just go in and just tear it all apart. To me, that's judgment. Mm-hmm. I can have my opinions, and it's just like, that doesn't affect me. So it's like, whatever, I feel this about that person, but I'm going to keep it moving. Like, there's no reason to like keep going. But like, judgment is like when you can't let it go. And it's like, what is it inside of you that just can't let it go, or it has to actually put it on in writing to someone that you don't even flipping know?
So you know what I think it is?
What is it? Please. So like I said last week, Shiney and I had a very lengthy conversation. We recorded for over 2 hours. So I'm breaking these up in segments. That way we can process what's being said. Before we leave, though, spoiler alert. So if you don't want to hear about the parent test and who won, we're done. See you next week. But for those who want to know who won, Corinne and I finished the show, and the disciplined parent won the whole show. I felt like I won a prize since that is my parenting style. I have a very competitive spirit. So I needed to share this with you, that my parenting style was the winner. Pat myself on the back. I'm not a perfect parent, but that gave me so much joy. So just wanted to share with you guys, discipline parents, it does work. Discipline when needed. Love also. Show them kindness, show them grace, show them all the things. Like I said, I ain't perfect, but that brought me so much joy. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next week as we continue this conversation with Shiney. Like I said, it's a roller coaster. We're tackling all the things. We're just flowing. We're flowing. We have no script. We're just speaking from the heart. All right. Love you all. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Virago 24/7. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and please give us 5-star ratings. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Virago24_7 and on Facebook at Virago24/7, and just connect with us and share your story. We'd love to hear from you.